You apologize before you speak. You shrink your needs so no one has to accommodate you. And when someone does something kind for you, your first instinct isn't gratitude. It's guilt. Like your existence is an inconvenience you keep asking others to forgive. You don't take the last piece. You don't ask for what you actually want. You say whatever works for you, even when something very specific works for you. In groups, you monitor. You watch for signs of irritation, for the moment someone has had enough of you. And when no sign comes, you don't feel relieved. You just keep watching. Psychologists call this pattern chronic self-effacement, a habitual suppression of personal needs and presence in service of keeping the environment safe. It often develops alongside what attachment researchers call the anxious attachment style, formed in early relationships where love or approval felt conditional, where being too much, too loud, too needy, too present led to withdrawal from the people you needed most. So you learn to be small, not because you are small, because smallness felt safe. You were not born apologetic. Somewhere, the message arrived through a tone of voice, a door closed, a need that was met with impatience, that your presence had a cost. And you, trying to be good, trying to be loved, tried to reduce that cost as much as possible. That was not weakness. That was a child doing the most intelligent thing available, adapting to the emotional climate they were given. The adaptation worked then. It is working against you now. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Your nervous system learned to operate in a state researchers call hypervigilant social monitoring. The brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, was trained early to scan not for physical danger, but for social danger. A shift in someone's expression, a pause before they answer, a silence that lasts a beat too long. These signals became threat signals. So your brain runs a constant background process. Am I too much right now? Am I taking more than I'm allowed? Neuroscientists call this social threat appraisal. And in people with early relational stress, this system is calibrated far too sensitively. The radar is set to detect things that aren't actually threats. It's exhausting. And it was never your fault it was set that way. 3 principles, grounded in research. 1. Notice the apology before it leaves. Psychologists who study self-silencing call the moment before habitual shrinking the choice point. You can't stop a reflex you can't see. But when you notice the impulse to minimize, pause there. Not to force yourself to speak. Just to ask, is this actually necessary? Or am I managing someone's feelings that haven't even been expressed yet? 2. Practice receiving without deflecting. When someone offers help, a compliment, or simply their attention, let it land. Don't immediately redirect it. Don't discount it. Research on self-compassion by Kristen Neff shows that the capacity to receive care is a learnable skill, one that physically regulates the nervous system and gradually recalibrates the threat detection response. You are allowed to be received. 3. Separate presence from burden. Somewhere your brain learned these were the same. They are not. Presence is neutral. Burden is a judgment. And that judgment was made by someone else in a different time about a version of you that no longer exists. Think of your life as a room you've been living in, but never fully moving into. Boxes still packed, taking up only the corner where you're least likely to disturb anything. What you are learning to do now is not become louder, not become more demanding. You are learning to unpack, to occupy the space that was always quietly yours. You have spent so long making yourself easier to carry that you forgot you were never meant to be carried. You were meant to be here, fully, without apology, without the constant calculation of what your presence costs. You are not too much. You were just given too little space, too early. And you are still, slowly, rightly, taking it back.